don't you skip this intro. Don't you skip it. Because I got some news for us. And if you skip this intro, you might miss the news. Maybe it could be news you haven't heard before, and you won't know if you're skipping. So don't skip the intro. Hey, this is Thank Me For My Cervix. I'm your host, Shauna Marie. And this is day 4 and 5 of our detox because I was traveling and I missed some time with you guys. It was just too much trying to schedule that all out. So we are catching up today. And I have so much notes. It's going to be fun. I did a lot of research. I found some cool other groups and stuff that you guys should look into. Some awesome information heading your way. So we are going to go over a few things. Don't skip this part though. Okay. All of our interviews or our lives are only going to be on Thursdays. Okay, so we're going to be doing this only on Thursdays now. If you are a guest and you'd like to come on and chat with me, I am going to be a bit more picky about who comes on and talks to me for several reasons. Number one being reliability, okay? I want you someone reliable and someone that is interesting, okay? That's what we got to keep this. My schedule and your guys' time, everybody's time is valuable, and that's what we're going to optimize. So that's what I'm looking for in a guest, reliability and interesting. If you fit those categories, slide in my DMs and we'll get you on. What I'm going to be doing is having guests join after I give my little spiels where we check in with each other like this. So if you're here, tell me how your week's going so far. I'm going to go over a little bit more information and then we'll jump into some really cool information that I have found in my studies. I take this like work and job. I take this stuff serious. Okay, also, we have new shirts and a new logo in the works, which I'm super stoked about. There's going to be more information coming, but if you are interested in getting one of our OG shirts, our original gangster shirts, then go ahead and click that link in my bio, in this bio, Thank Me For My Cervix, and get yourself an OG shirt. But we do got some cool new shirts in the making, and I'm super stoked about that. Okay, see, that wasn't bad. What are you guys skipping my intros for? Like, that literally took, I don't know how long I've been live, but that did not take long enough for y'all to be skipping it. Okay, anyway, so today's day 4 and day 5. We're supposed to talk about treatment options and therapy for the 4th, but we kind of talked about all of that. We've covered so much on day 2. So if you came on this live or you're listening to this episode and you were like, I'm stoked for resources and support, we're going to go back to episode 2 for all that information. Sorry, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to jump into kind of sharing stories about growth, and I found a really cool website. I even followed them on Instagram, but I did this literally like 2 hours before going live. But I'm going to slide into the inboxes and see if there's any way we can get in touch with people to come on. But this group is called headsupguys.org, okay? And it is basically a bunch of men, which I love, that are sharing their mental health stories and really getting it out there. So there was a couple of stories that really spoke to me when I was going through that information. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to talk a little bit about these 2 specific guys that, there was tons of great, awesome stories of overcoming depression and how it's affected them and all this stuff. But these 2 spoke to me the most. So I'm going to share with these first. And then I asked you guys, my followers and my listeners, to give me what you guys do when you're having a mentally down day. And honestly, these are awesome answers, so we're going to go over that as well. And then we are going to talk a little bit about all the responses I got about the makeup and facial hair, because it's interesting. I got a lot of DMs, and it was interesting and fun. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to cover in this episode, and it's going to be super fun and maybe kind of fast. But hey, we got things to do, places to be, and we're in the works with so much coming up. So thanks for being here, guys. I'm so thankful. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this headsupguys.org. So like I was saying, it's a bunch of men who are coming forward and explaining how they got over the depression, what had caused it, how they felt. And honestly, I screenshotted some of their quotes that they would recommend to men. I'm going to get to that, but super awesome stuff. So the first one we're going to get into, his name is Mr. Quinn Miller, and he's not military related, which is also what I wanted to add. Even if you're not military, like if you're not a veteran, you're not related to a military, but you're just passionate about mental health, like come on and talk if you feel like you have something that you can provide to listeners. I'm open for anyone who feels like they're passionate about sharing their experience to better others. I'm sorry, I'm so greasy. I literally worked all day. It doesn't even matter. Okay. Mr. Quinn Miller. He's a teacher and a photographer. And I guess his big project that he's working on now is he works with a photogeneric series that deals with depression among men. So his base is men, which I love because he has a quote that is specific to men because it's harder, I feel like, for men to deal with emotions. It's more frowned upon in a sense, in a different sense than for women. So these were his suggestions on overcoming. The very first one, he said, this is the foremost, is feeling like you have loved ones to lean on. And a large part of that, and he goes in a little bit of depth, but I'm adding some to this as well. A large part of that is you have to be a good and kind enough person that people want to be around. And that kind of deals with the self-love thing too, but the number one thing is you have to know that you have family and friends that care about you. And if you feel like you don't, do a deep look inside and be like, all right, well, what can I do to change that? Do I feel like I need to change? Do I need to change my group of people? You know, there's things that you can do to work towards that. That's first and foremost. At least, I'd say at least two. You know, two good, reliable friends that you feel like you can, whenever you need, in case one goes on vacation or something, you know. Or if you have a good enough friend, hopefully they take you on vacation with you. That's a good friend. Okay, the next thing is changing diet. There's a couple of apps, and I always recommend try different ones. If you are struggling with finding a good and healthy diet, you're like, man, I feel like I'm eating good, but I'm not getting any progress that I want to see. Sometimes what you think you're eating that is good is not necessarily the best. And they do have apps that you can like scan the food, scan different things to kind of see what you're consuming. I recommend that. And a good tip that I've always heard is like stay out of the aisles. So when you go to a grocery store, if you stay on the outside wall, that's all the fresh produce. That's all the fresh things that you can get. Eating that is good for your body. So, changing diet. Or just eating a good diet. If you feel like you're good eating a good diet, then keep on doing what you're doing. Accepting yourself. And I read a little bit of what he's saying, but I'm going to go in depth to it as well. Accepting yourself is like realizing truly deep down, if you're an angry person, what is making you angry? And you need to either change that or accept that, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. This is how I am, right? And what can I change? Maybe my mindset, avoid that situation. You know, those are different things that you can take. But accepting that accepting yourself for who you are and something that you may need to change something to be more accepted. I'm going to read this comment. I love that. So true. My fitness pal. Oh, okay. Thank you for giving me a specific one. So I was like, yeah, I know they exist, but so my fitness pal is great for tracking what you're eating. Thank you so much. I'm glad our personal trainer, we have like a little personal trainer here on Thank Me For My Cervix. We have a couple actually, which is awesome. But my fitness pal, thank you so much. I might even have to check that out because maybe I'm like, oh yeah, I'm eating so good, and then I'm gonna scan it and be like, whew. I guess peanut butter is like not as good as people make it out to be for you, which is a bummer. Which is like, it's a bummer because it's basically candy that I thought was healthy, you know, which does not exist. Okay, and he wrote creating art, which you know I'm gonna be a big fan of, because he's a photographer, so he creates art from photography. Chronometer is a good one too. Chronometer, Chronometer, is another good one. Thank you so much. Our other personal trainer checked in on us. I love peanut butter. Me too. I love peanut butter. You know what I did have as a slightly good substitution was almond butter too, and I don't know why almond butter is supposed to be better than peanut butter, but I think genuinely that it is. Portion control. People don't realize how important that is because, yeah, I think like portion control for me is like if I have like a small jar, I'll eat half the first time, which is not right at all. It's supposed to be like 1 tablespoon. But I also feel like I'm still in decent shape. So if I can still eat peanut butter as much as I want and live happily, I'm gonna do so. You know, so, but will I have like a little bit of an extra gut? Probably, you know, I'm willing to have that for peanut butter. So, love that. I'm drinking. Okay, we can talk about how bad, do you guys genuinely like the taste of water? And you cannot tell me water does not taste like anything, because it does. And I don't like the taste of water. I would rather be very thirsty than drink water as much as I'm supposed to. No, okay, we're getting off. Oh, he only says one more thing. So look, we can get right back on track. We're getting right there. Last thing that he suggests on turning yourself around from a depression is getting a dog. I don't think that one really needs any explaining because everybody knows that a dog is a man's best friend. I do. I love water. People make fun of me because I say that. Okay, people make fun of me for saying that it tastes bad because they're like, it doesn't taste like anything. I'm like, taste my water because it does not. It tastes bad. It tastes bad. Okay, I'm reading a quote from Quinn Miller, and this is for my men. And I do absolutely love that I have beautiful, supportive women here, and Spencer. But this is for men, so hopefully my men will watch this replay and listen to this, because I really like this quote. But I feel like men are going to obviously relate to it more because I feel like it was kind of directly for men. So let's see. This quote is from Mr. Quinn Miller. I'm going to mess this up because I feel like if I'm reading, okay, it's fine. Don't allow modern day perceptions of manhood to prevent you from reaching out for help. If you don't feel comfortable with seeking a therapist, then seek out a loved one who will listen. Realize that it isn't a paid script. I am a real person who had real depression, and I cannot emphasize how much better it feels to escape that darkness. So many men can relate to you, so please, end the war that you've been fighting for so long. Quinn Miller. I love that, especially that first line. Don't allow modern day perceptions, which honestly, you don't even have to say the manhood part, because like, that can apply to anybody. But because men struggle with the most, we will emphasize that. Don't allow modern day perceptions of manhood to prevent you from reaching out for help. Period. Because a strong, stable man is the best man. That you are the king of men when you are like that. And I don't know why that's not emphasized enough. When you are strong mentally, because most of the time, mental strength comes right alongside physical strength, because if you're being healthy, you're taking care of your brain, a lot of times you're second-handedly taking care of your body too. And I feel like it's so important. It's so important. All right, I love that. Okay, that was what the first guy that I thought was interesting, right? I thought that's a cool guy. That's a cool guy. I'm here for it. Did I try to follow him on Instagram and see? I think I followed like 4 Quinn Millers. Don't think any of them are this guy. So we'll see. Don't hold our breath on that one. So next one, and I'm dreading this one because I don't know how to say the last name. I don't like words. I mean, obviously I like words, but like I don't like mispronouncing words because I feel like it's like disrespectful. Like, how do you not know how to say that? Says the girl whose name is Shauna. Shauna, the people call me like the craziest stuff. I'm like, it's SHAWNA. It's not that crazy. I want to read these comments about that speech. Spencer said he loved that. And then, vulnerability has been perceived as a weakness for so long. It's so the opposite. That is so true. That is so true. Being able to take on being vulnerable is like so much strength. I feel like that's the true ability to oneself, of being able to take that on. All right, guy number 2. I'm going to spell his last name, and we're going to call him Mr. Bill, because his first name's Bill. Got that down. Last name, HARGENRADER. Hargerator. I feel like I was close. And we're back on the military train. He is a U.S. Army vet. Love. He also is an author and public speaker. Am I going to try to stalk him and see if he'll come? Yes. But that's not the point. He also has a memoir. Yeah, that's right. It's called Fight Through the Dark. And I love that. I also screenshotted one of his advice for guys. But let's go over what he thinks are things that are helpful. And I know that my fitness ladies and fit men that are here are gonna appreciate these. So I feel like a lot of these have to do with fitness, which we know goes hand in hand. But sometimes fit people still struggles, right? So like, let's figure out what else we can do. Things that helped. Daily success habits. He included like writing, anything. From what I was grasping from what he was saying is having a routine and whatever that means to you. So then in that way, even if you're having an off day or a bad day, your body kind of, as long as you keep that routine, whether it's like I wake up, I go for a run or I go for a walk and I eat a healthy breakfast, I'm keeping this routine every day, that you don't even really have time to be like sad. And then by the time the sadness is passing, you've been healthy and active and getting everything done all day. And, is that a cure? Maybe, yeah. I feel like that's kind of dealing with it, right? Sometimes you feel anxious for no reason. I feel anxious for no reason all the time. So, that was his first one. Optimal nutrition. We've talked about that so much. But, again, being healthy. You got to eat healthy. And you have to know what eating healthy means. You have to. And Jamie and I have a good conversation. If you guys remember Jamie from OG long time ago, almost a year ago now, episodes, we talk a lot about nutrition, and it has some good information for those who are like, what does eating healthy even mean? Good episode. You feel anxious always. I do. Anxious and excited, do you know that those chemicals released in your brain are related to similar? So maybe I'm not anxious, I'm just constantly excited, and that's kind of why I'm always like so much energy all the time. It's because I'm excited. But then I'm also like, oh, that means I'm anxious. But it's really, I feel like I never felt anxiety or anxiousness until I was older. And I feel like before, I was just always excited. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. I just started getting better with routine. I get overwhelmed with how much there is to do. Oh, is that, okay, I'm so glad that you said that, because thank you, me too. I'm not purposely flashing them, but like with them being neon, someone said they loved my nails. But with me flashing my hands, it's just, they're bright yellow and it looks like I am. What was I saying? Oh, a routine. Yes, I'm so glad that someone else says that, because I feel overwhelmed constantly by things that I need to do, and that I'm never on top of this mountain of things that I need to get done. And I will say I agree. I think a routine does help with that, but it's sometimes hard to keep a routine. And then when you take a couple days off the routine, then it goes out the window. It's hard. I get it. It's hard. I used to play soccer as my therapy. For the time I was playing, I forget about everything. I love that. Sports are a great thing. I think I actually wrote that down. I think you responded to my story and said soccer. So I wrote that down. Thank you for hopping on the live. Because absolutely, sports, exercise is so good for you. I don't mean to. I'm not meaning to flash my nails. But they are bright ass yellow. Okay. Oh, one other thing that he commented and noted on, and I kind of like to talk about, is getting your blood work done and vitamin D, which I think is the one that you can get from the sun, right? Anyway, I know I've always been low on vitamin D, so I take vitamin D supplement, especially in the winter, so that's why I thought it's from the sun. But anyway, getting your blood work done has a lot of benefits, because there's some things that you may not even realize that you're not getting enough of, and blood work is absolutely the best way to do that. So I like that little ad touch in. This is my favorite color. Yep, bright yellow is my favorite color. Embrace physical fitness. And what I like about that, him saying embrace physical fitness, is for the longest time, especially, why did I put so many, I don't think that's how many syllables that has. I'm not going to say it again. But when I was in boot camp, or like going to boot camp, through boot camp, and honestly, for most of my time in my military career, I hated PT. I hated training. Granted, going into boot camp, I was a fat little girl. I was gonna say something worse, but I was not healthy at all. And I got IT'd a lot for it. And for those of you who intense training. Yeah, right? Intense training, is that what IT stands for? I don't even know. It happened to me every single day. And that's how I lost weight. But anyway, I hated PT all through that. And then after I got out of the military, oddly enough, is when I found therapy in running. And then I was like, I got really thin. And I was like, okay, how do I counteract this thinness because I'm getting too thin? And then I started going to the gym on my own leash, like whenever I felt like I needed to go. And then it became like, okay, I need to do this all the time because it makes me feel better. So forcing it, obviously in the military, did not make me like it very much. But I do think if you can find a way to be like, okay, I'm going to do something that I enjoy to get this exercise, whether it be like swimming or whatever, something that you know is a form of cardio, and then just trying to increase that as you go along. How can I get a better, all right, I've been walking, say like you start walking a half an hour every day. You walk a half an hour every day for a month, and you're like, okay, well, that's kind of easy now, but how can I set this up a bit? And you're like, all right, I'll run the first half and then walk the second, or jog it, or whatever, and then you're just building it up until you're like, all right, I'm skinny from running, let's go do something else. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to read that quote from Mr. Bill Hargenrader. You just say it real fast, you can't tell I'm saying it wrong. What advice would you give to other guys fighting depression? And I like that. One of the best pieces of advice I can give is to remember that your mental health is closely tied with your physical health. The healthier we live our lives and focus on creating a sustainable, habitual, healthy lifestyle, the easier it is to get through the dark times. Also, remember that even though depression is real, the habits we create around depression can keep us in a depressed state longer. Pick 1 or 2 new tactics, test them out, find out what works for you, and keep them as a part of your lifestyle. And finally, once you figure out what works for you, pay it forward and share your knowledge and experience with others. Good luck. I love that. I love that. Obviously, you know, I like the whole share your knowledge and experience because that's what I created this platform for. So when I saw him say that, it just warms my heart to know that there's also other veterans that are like, okay, this was not fun being this sad. So what can I do? Okay, now that I'm sharing my story, let's get others to share their story. So we all kind of realize, like, okay, me too. Someone commented love. Me too. Thank you so much. So yeah. So if you're interested in reading any more stories or finding out about any more guys like this, that's again the headsupguys.org, and there's apparently hundreds of different stories. Those were I read a few and was just trying to find things that jumped out at me. Obviously all of them have something great to offer. So yeah, if this type of thing interests you and you have some time you want to look, great option. Now we're going to go into what you, my followers, my listeners, all gave to me as what you do on mentally down days. And I like most of these, I think. Yeah. And I'm just going to go in the order that you guys commented them. And it was said multiple times. I just put like in parentheses the variant or whatever. Hold on. Water break. I'm sorry. I'm dying. I feel like my voice is slowly getting deeper and deeper the more I'm talking. The hole's like closed. Oh, wait, wouldn't it get higher? No. I have no idea if this counts as water. But I drink so much of these. Okay, you know why this is a good solution for me? It says water, right? So it's basically water. And I love soda. I love soda. Like, that is like my kryptonite. If I could drink Baja Blast 24/7 all the time, if Baja Blast was as good for me as water, like, sick, but it's not. So yeah, flavor and carbonation. I feel like this is a good option for. Okay, yes. You know, personal trainer said it's good, so it makes me a little gassy though. Not well. If I have my fruit. All right, this list. What you guys do for mentally down days. Deep breathing. I get this because so I have always been like deep breathing, like who sits there and takes time to deep breathe? I'm telling you, my brain goes so fast. It took me so long to even realize what it truly meant to like decompress and deep breathe. And I was like, I'm like 30, and I'm like just figuring it out. So there's deep breathing exercises, there's yoga, anything that can ground you. It's recommended to do outside. There's like categories of like different things for breathing that can benefit you. There's like pregnancy breathing there's so many different breathing techniques. Like if you are like, I'm looking for something simple, not drug related, what can I do? Breathing. It does wonders. Don't know why. Anyway, so right underneath it actually is grounding in nature. Nature walks, ocean. We talked about it before, but we'll touch on it again. Our bodies are like electrical energy, and it kind of is stored up in us. So when you're in a house for a long period of time, that energy has nowhere to go. If you do not step barefoot on the ground outside, you're not barefoot in the pool, you're not barefoot in the ocean. There's so many places to be barefoot. If you're not doing that regularly, your energy is just built up, and that it comes in forms of like migraines and depression and like not fun stuff. And that's your sign that you need to get outside. It's a simple sign. It's a crazy simple solution. And I'm not even joking. So anyway, I personally think, what is stuck in my eye? My hair. I personally think having 30 minutes outside is a day is a great goal. I'm sorry if you work outside, but you still need more, because usually if you're working outside, you have rubber soles in between, so you have like working boots in between you and the earth. You're not grounding. I know it sounds weird, but you're not grounding. You have to be barefoot or like in the water or something. Journaling, which is great, because we do have, most of the people that I talk to they're either like public speakers or they're authors of some sort. Journaling is like just a good way, even if you're not good at writing or doing anything, just to get your thoughts out, especially for those people who feel like they have like racing thoughts, which is like me. Like, look at this book I started this book when I started the podcast, and it's literally just pages of Scrabble. Some stuff I never even use. It's just how I have to function in my brain to work. Is this journaling? I mean, I guess. Okay. Oh, is soccer still here? Because soccer, sports, I personally tried to play soccer. Not a huge fan. But I do love football. I really like every other sport but soccer. Actually, Bo came home and told me that he wanted to play soccer, and I was like, please, dear God, any other sport. Any other sport but soccer. And I'm sorry if this offends you. I'm sorry if this offends you. Because soccer is great for some people. I can recognize how it's a great sport. I prefer it on ice. With a little black one that goes back and forth. That's fun. Okay. Boo. Maybe you can give an insight a little bit more on. I remember going to Chicago Fire games, and just being like, I'm not enjoying myself. Anyway, someone commented on my story and said, like, I looked down at my tattoo that says something very specific, and he's like, and that's how I'll know that I'll get through the day, which is great for him. So instead of writing what he wrote specifically, I just wrote tattoos that have meaning, which is crazy, because I can't tell you how many tattoos I have that don't have meaning. So, but if you like meaning, look down at your tattoos that have meaning, and I love that. If that's what you gotta do for you, love, full send, do it. Okay, so this is one I don't agree with. Personally, I'm just gonna say, ice baths, right? Someone for mentally down days will take an ice bath, which for me is crazy. I would never, if I am in a depressive state, at no point am I taking my clothes off and getting into a cold bath with ice cubes in it. Like, that's actually the furthest thing from my mind that I think that I would ever want to do. Now, if I'm in a mentally good state and I feel like I want to get my body whatever benefits that an ice bath would give me, and you're like, okay, Shauna, these benefits, this is really great benefits in this ice bath, and I'm like mentally good, okay, fine. That might put me back into like a mental not one. Like, I hate being cold. I cannot express how much I hate being cold. But okay, so ice baths for those of you who enjoy those types of things. Major League Soccer is definitely not a great experience. I 100% can understand how soccer would be best experienced outside of the country. I can see that and I can respect that 100%. So thank you for sharing that, because true, American soccer probably is not top tier. Oh man. Okay, sorry. So yeah. Okay, after ice baths was gym, or like an intense workout, which is obviously great for multiple reasons. Kind of gets us back into that physical state where we're getting better. Nope, I know the benefits, but I just can't do an ice bath. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I really can't even imagine trying to do it. No. If I am sad, I'm taking like as hot of a bath as possible. Very warm, lots of bubbles. No ice. I circled this one. Cry in the shower. Yo, a good cry in the shower, it's good. Even if you have nothing really to cry about, just act like you're in a music video and, I don't know, put on some sad music and just cry. Bruh, it's life-changing. Life-changing. If you have not done it, I recommend it. Put on like a song, a sad song, like a song that gets you in your feels. For my men, Zach Bryan of some sort maybe, about his mom. Woo, I can give you some sad mom songs. If you need that. If you need that. Okay. Someone commented and gave me an unhealthy way that they cope with it, and then a healthy way. And they said the unhealthy way was overwork, which I feel like a lot of people could relate to. Like, just continue to work to not deal with it. Like keeping yourself busy in a negative way, where you're like compromising physical health. Don't do that. And then her healthy way would be grounding in the ocean, which is great. Sleep is great. We love sleep. I only cry in the shower. I don't like when people see me cry. I don't want the hugs. Oh, yo, I can get myself together, but if you can tell that I've been crying and ask me if I'm okay, I'll start crying again. So like, don't do that to me. If you think like, oh man, Shauna's having an off day, don't be like, you okay, bud? Because I will lose it. I will lose it. And I don't like losing it in public. No, in my room or in my shower only. Pray was another thing listed for those of you who are into that. Meditate could fall under pray. I thank karma randomly. That's my form of praying. Sunlight kind of falls under nature. Watching videos of people falling, or any funny videos. I am one of those people, like when people get hurt, I'm like, oh, like, I can't even laugh. It makes me so sad. Sometimes I'm funny though. It's funny if they laugh after, okay? Or any funny videos. I personally like funny cat videos. Cats are dicks. And it's fucking funny to me. I mean, it's not funny when people are dicks, but like when a cat does it, like, it doesn't even realize like how much of a dick it's being. It's just doing that off instinct. And that's fucking hilarious. Like, that's hilarious. I can't read my last one. Oh, fishing. Which I get. And I also don't get. Because sometimes fishing, you're just there with your thoughts. Literally in a pole. No action. Just, wow, this sucks. I wish something would bite my fish. Also, I just remembered that Becky left me and I'm super sad. Like, not fun. But now if you're like on like a guided fishing trip or in the ocean or something and there's waves, I guess that can be fun. Some people like just drinking beer with their friends, and I feel like that's fine. That's great. Yeah. So okay, that's all you guys gave me. That's all I want to talk about tonight. So I'm really grateful that all you guys came and chatted with me tonight. I feel like we like got a lot of information out there, and it was fun. So yeah, we are gonna be there like next week, June 20th. Transition and integration. This is so important for so much things. Not even just talking about military. We're also gonna be talking like transitioning from being in a depressive state back into trying to be normal and feel like you're being normal after losing what you felt was your normal, right? So yeah, lots of fun information. Yeah, if you ever wanna come talk to me, do it. Message me and do it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do my best to get audio out. Oh, can I do that again? How did I do that? Okay, sorry, I just sent you guys a bunch of hearts and that was really cute. Okay,